So when it comes to the UK, we have quite a large migrant problem. But judging by this post today on Twitter, it turns out that the migrants are absolutely loving it. Because we got this post here from David Atherton. And in a moment actually, I'll show you why posts like this, I'll show you why they're actually quite dangerous. Because you can see by this second sentence here, he says a white van man delivered 6,000 vapes to an immigration detention centre in Bedfordshire. And then he comments, it made my, you know what, boil. You know, it was like like one of those boiling hot taps. So like I said, long story short, 6,000 vapes to an illegal migrant detention centre. And he's got a picture. And like I said, I'll show you why posts like this can be quite dangerous in a moment. But he's got the picture here, loaded in the back of the van. You imagine that? 6,000 vapes just essentially going to a migrant detention centre. Pretty much a migrant hotel. And whilst you have to pay for yours, as well as your hotel room, the migrants get both of them completely for free. We're essentially funding their habits and giving them money to continue on vaping. And like I said, right, images like that, they're quite hard to trust, you know? Essentially what we had, let me go back to the image, and then I'll show you my freedom of information request on it. But we got David Atherton, right? He's very big on Twitter. And essentially what we've got here, we've got a little bit of text and an image. That's not what I would call proof. I'd need more for proof before I bring you this in the form of a video. You know, this to me, anyone could take the image and anyone could say those words. And truth be told, if I accepted stuff like this for a video, it would lower the bar of what I would call proof. So I thought to myself, you know, he's named a council, he's named the Immigration Detention Centre, and he's pretty specific, 6,000 vapes. It's called Vape Nation, is the name of the company. So I thought to myself, you know, this looks like a freedom of information request. You know, I'm not saying David's lying. I'm just saying that it's very easy on Twitter to get caught up in just wanting clicks. You know, that's all people want really, are just clicks. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They only want clicks. So like I said, I mean, this is textbook freedom of information territory. So I put Dear Home Office on, and I won't read the whole thing out as always, but it says, on social media, a claim has circulated that approximately 6,000 vapes were delivered to an immigration detention centre in Bedfordshire. And I wanted to know the following information. Confirmation as to whether or not any immigration detention centre or migrant hotel has received deliveries of disposable or reusable vapes. And I also wanted to know the total number purchased. And I also wanted to know the total cost. All of these things, hopefully, is going to be information that we can get. You know, they're going to respond to me and my freedom of information request. And truth be told, we're going to find out one of two things. We're going to find out if Bedfordshire Council are really supplying free of charge vapes to migrants. That's one thing that we could find out. Or another thing that we could find out is that these large creators on social media, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, we really need to start asking for proof. Because truth be told, my competitors, they could just lie about all of this stuff all day. And if no one calls them out on it, well then they're just lying to all of us. And if you would like to see the answer of that freedom of information request, if you want to find out if we're giving this to migrants, then make sure that you subscribe, because as soon as I get the information, I will let you know.
This country has gone crazy.